Greg needs to talk.
Greg, why don't we go to the little by little? And now, as you can see, the administrative budget is the smallest part of our budget. It's only 6.4%, program is 83, and then capital is 10%. Our administrative budget is divided in 4 parts. The most important one is what we call general support, that it's you guys, the board, central administration, and curriculum and development, and central services. So why don't we go to general support? General support is the money that we set aside for the Board of Education. That's everything that we pay, including paying Greg for board meetings, if you guys need to go for training, anything like that. This year we increased a little bit, a lot, I would say, but it's because in the past, Greg's salary came from technology. That's because Laura was the one that hired Greg, so I said, Laura, you hire, you pay. But no, it should be here, so that's why the increase.
Just one question, are custodial services for these meetings included?
No, the custodians are here no matter what.
Okay.
So it's part of their job, so no. This is basically Greg and anything that you guys need, like for training or anything like that.
Okay.
And then we have district clerk, which is the salary as district clerk of Carmen, and then everything that we pay for the budget board meetings.
Part of her. That's not her only job, right? So
No,
it's part
it's
of
a
part of
stipend.
her. Thank you.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is,
That's not all me either.
yeah, no. So you know, Carmen's salary as a district clerk is $5,000. So pretty low for her being here until 10:30 at night, some nights, but that's what it is. So the total increase is 10% or $3,000, $3,500. Next. The next one is central administration, and it starts with the office of the superintendent. The numbers at the top that says 212 are the FTEs, full-time equivalents. So that's Carmen and Joe as their salaries, and that includes salaries, supplies, equipment, everything that they need. And again, the increase is 110,000, from which 105 is in, I don't remember if it was 100 or 105, the increase on the strategic plan. But that's why it's such a high number. Business administration is the business office. That's 5 people in my office. The increase is 197,000. That's not the increase for me, believe me. The increase of $177,000 is the SRO that comes out of my contractual payment. And then we have the treasurer, auditor, tax. We have 1 treasurer, our internal and external auditors. Then we pay the city of Peekskill about $30,000 for them to collect our taxes for the portion of our people that work in that live in Peekskill. So this will be an increase of 20%, but if you take into account that basically 277,000 out of the 318 are the strategic planning and the SRO, the rest is very little.
So you
Yes.
piqued my interest here. So we pay Peekskill $30,000. How much tax revenue do we get from Peekskill that they're charging us $30,000 in administrative fees?
It's about 8% of the $50 million.
What, say that again?
About 8, and I'll give you the exact number next time, but it's about 8% of the, so
So what do they-
92%.
What do they do for $30,000? Like, do they do something special, or do they write us a
Same
check?
for our tax bill.
No,
They get the same tax bill for everybody, right?
No,
Or do they mail out a tax
no.
bill for us?
Remember that we have 2 jurisdictions,
Yeah.
completely different. The city of Peekskill that is in our school district, and the town of Portland. Town of Portland does it for free as part of our give and take. City of Peekskill has never done it for free. City of Peekskill has always charged us. And they charge us an amount per $1,000. And I can give you the number next time, but it's close to $30,000.
Seems like
It's about,
$30,000 we should be saving.
I think that, we talked about this one time, there's a whole, like, system that you need.
oh, yeah, no,
That we
sorry.
don't,
They have the assessor, then they have the system.
They have a separate system to collect our taxes? Don't they just put it as a line item? and
No,
then
no,
write us
that's
a
why I
check?
told you. Remember, every year, we have 2 jurisdictions where we have, on the one hand, town of Portland, on the other hand, city of Peekskill. That's why, if you remember, in June, we approved the taxes for city of Peekskill because cities pay taxes in July, towns pay taxes in September. You pay, and I pay taxes in September. If you live in city of Peekskill, you pay them in July. That's why we have two completely different, and that's why every year, either town of Portland residents owe city of Peekskill or the other way around, because in June, I need to try to estimate, and I talked to town of Portland, what's going to be the tax rate in town of Portland even before we have done
Yeah,
it.
I just don't understand what they do for $30,000. Do they buy us a separate computer system? Do they send out bills?
Yeah.
Do
They send out the
But they send out
bills.
bills that they would send out with their regular
No,
tax
because
bills anyway, right?
they have a separate system for us, because we have a separate tax rate than the Peekskill School District.
But a
You see,
separate
they-
system, a whole separate
Well, I
computer
don't know,
system?
I don't ask them
But I think it's a separate
exactly.
cycle, right? 'Cause I
Yeah,
have
but it's a separate cycle, but
It's a
how much?
separate
No,
is
no,
it?
it's the same cycle, the cycle is the same, because
Right. It just seems like a lot.
if
for
you
$30,000.
are
I don't
a
wanna have a
Peekskill resident in Peekskill School District or in the Henry Hudson School District,
Yeah, but we're
you
looking at
receive
you would save
tax
money,
bill
right?
the
A
same
state
day.
money.
Got it.
So the cycle is the same.
Yeah.
The issue is that the rates are completely different because we are a different school
You buy a
district.
car for that.
I know, but I'm
Get
not
a
going
teacher's
to,
aid for that, right?
first of all, I would need to buy a whole machine to do it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can reach out to them.
Yeah.
Maybe let's put it on the list of things to
Oh,
reach out
of
to.
course, believe
Jeremy
me, I
will talk.
reach out to them every year,
So Jeremy's-
asking them, come on, guys. And they said, well, it's like, we need to pay this and that, but yeah, believe me, after what happened with the $12 million, the last thing they want to hear from Henry Hudson is, don't come and cry here, you took $12 million from us. That happened over 10 years ago, they still remind me every time that I go there, believe me.
You guys know what that is?
No.
Yes, we have that later.
It's really late.
So, but anyway,
Focus.
yeah, it's late, but, so where are we? So central administration, so it's a 20%, like I said, but out of that 20%, increase for 318, like 280,000 is because strategic planning and our SRO. Central services are legal costs, The payments that we pay Keenan Bean and our other lawyers. Then we have the personnel department. That's two people. That's Margaret and her secretary. That's about 2% increase, 1.6. Then we have $23,000, the cost to run the district public relations. Then insurance, student insurance. This is only for student accident insurance. Then we will discuss in another time the insurance for you, for the district, for everything. This is only student accident insurance. And then the BOCES administrative fees. We are one of 18 component districts from BOCES, and this is divided in several parts. One of them is that BOCES did a capital project about 10 years ago that every single district voted, and it's our proportional part from that capital project, and then the administrative fees from BOCES. So this is an increase of 3.2%. And then we have the biggest part, which is the Office of the Executive Director, and this is the portion of Margaret that is curriculum and instruction. Then we have curriculum and professional development. And then we have the biggest part that is the school business administration. That's all the principals, assistant principals, their secretaries, their equipment, everything that they need in their offices. This does not take into account Lisa and her team because that goes in special ed. So I carve out special ed from here, and that's an increase of 1.8%. So the next one is just a summary of everything. So the increase is $404,000, which again, $277,000 are from strategic planning and the SRO. So not $123,000, $127,000 basically increased out of a budget of $5 million. 5.3. That's why I said this is simple and easy. Are there any questions?
Good. We're good? Questions? All right. Thank you so much, Enrique. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm good.
We won't get mad.
No, I'm good.
Except for Ally. She's admitting it. Thank you, Enrique. Thank you.